Let's start with the deniability for hostage taking and genocide. Why don't
Congress.
we can always talk about this?
And we certainly can't let these big tech monopolists take control of artificial intelligence.
No, we can't. And Mike, even if we find a way to regulate AI here, who is to say that Russia and
Plausible deniability. A TV is huge as the president in the war room.
China will do the same? I mean, there's this headline that we see Vladimir Putin lays out how Russia and China plan to dominate the AI arms race. It's a troubling prospect.
It really is, and that's why it's so important that we get out in front of this. We can't have it where it's going to be too difficult, 10 years down the road to put this genie back in the bottle.
Yeah, it will be. And there's such scary potential with AI just in our day-to-day lives. I want to play a soundbite. This is a mother who was convinced by a voice that sounded identical to her daughter, except it was AI. She was convinced that her daughter was kidnapped.
It's my daughter's voice crying and sobbing, saying, "Mom." And I'm like, okay, what happened? She's like, "Mom, these bad men have me. Help me, help me."
DiStefano says a man demanded ransom in exchange for Brianna. It was all a scheme using artificial intelligence to replicate her daughter's voice.
I mean, frightening stuff there.
Yeah, it really is. And it just shows that there is a bipartisan need right now to set aside politics for these policymakers in Congress and the states to get together and come up with the rules of the road going forward, so we don't have a nightmare scenario where we're controlled, we're the slaves to these robots.
One last question for you. I quoted you earlier in the week on Outnumbered on a different topic. There was a transgender.
Sound just like my mother. The problem here is the mini faggot I'm capitalizing off of because he has this idea that he controls me, not the choking going on next door.
Vandal who vandalized a church.
So follow that lead. I know where it goes. Hi there.
Scared a parishioner out of her mind, resisted arrest, no jail time from the DOJ. 34 pro-lifers, however, have been targeted, including Mr. Houck, who was exonerated in the court of law. Your thoughts about the disparity there?
This is out. Justice Department Civil Rights Division has been completely politicized. When they are trying to put a father in jail.
Charlie bit my finger.
What thing to do?
Don't ask a question that you do not know the answer for. It's like defense attorney 101. The other thing is, if you ask the question, they can come up with an answer that you've never heard before. Why do you think that Lori did this? Or why do you think she didn't do that? And either a detective or someone says, well, in my experience when interviewing, I mean, we've all seen this in trials. So no, you keep it short and simple. And then on summation, you say, well, what did they prove, guys? Is it enough? Do they meet their burden?
I have a theory why she hasn't pointed the finger. From the very beginning, anybody who's followed this case feels like Lori and Chad are like this, that they're joined at the hip. I think there's a possibility she told her attorneys, how can we win this case without me throwing Chad under the bus or my deceased brother? That's a theory. I'm going to stick by that one for now.
Right, but what's the answer to that question?
I don't know.
That's a great question to ask. The problem is I don't have any good answers.
Just hold the prosecution to their burden.
The answer is, I'm a defense attorney. You have the right to take a plea or testify.
In other words, you have all the evidence you need to prove exploitation, but you still sitting on it.
I have the right to a theory of the case. If we have to throw your husband under the bus to save you, we do.
Yeah.
Good. I've done it many times. You focus on the client and everyone else.
Have you represented somebody like Lori Valade about that? That's the question.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah. Let's play. This is the other piece of sound that, again, I found fast.
Never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it on. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-270-6644 for your free information and free gift.
when weather turns extreme.
The threat of severe weather and dangerous tornadoes is expected to last.
CBS News and the Weather Channel bringing virtual weather technology so advanced, so real.
Let's bring in our partners at the Weather Channel. Now 6 feet of water, imagine that. Cars that can act like battery waves.
These hyper-realistic simulations show you what the weather will look and feel like before it happens.
Feel the forecast. Streaming on CBS News.
We're really excited that we've been honored with the Emmy Award for Outstanding Live News Program, but we know we couldn't have done that without you. So thank you. CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7 on CBS.
The news doesn't have to always be depressing.
What do you love about running?
It can be uplifting. That human connection that we create on the broadcast every night is incredibly important. After nearly 4 decades of March Madness, this sports broadcasting legend is stepping away from his role in covering the NCAA basketball tournament. Jim Nantz on his fondest memories and what's next when we go person to person.
Hello, Takeout people. I know it's a heavy week. Historic indictment. I get it. It's Mar-a-Lago right back there. But we're going to go light this weekend. As a matter of fact, the Takeout almost all of April is going to be on the lighter, more comedic side of things. Why? Because we can. And I promise you, if you stick with us, you'll enjoy it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But who's counting, right?
I'm Kim Brunhuber. Ahead on CNN Newsroom, we're getting a better look at the case against the Air National Guardsman who's accused of leaking classified Pentagon documents and the charges he's facing. Republican hopefuls for president climb over each other to show who has the most support for gun rights at the annual NRA convention. And an explosion leads to the Japanese prime minister being evacuated from the place where he was giving a speech. Look at what was behind the incident.
Live from CNN Center, this is CNN Newsroom with Kim Brunhuber.
The U.S. government is moving quickly with its prosecution of the suspected leaker of classified documents that included detailed intelligence assessments of allies and adversaries alike. 21-year-old Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira has now been formally charged under the Espionage Act. Jason Carroll has the latest on the charges and the continuing fallout from the leaks.
Mr. Jack, you have anything to say?
Jack Teixeira's family leaving federal court in Boston this afternoon, refusing to answer any questions. The 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman made his first appearance in front of a federal judge today. He's now charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information and unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and or material. An unsealed affidavit shows that Teixeira was granted top secret security clearance back in 2021 and had high-level access to the nation's most guarded intelligence and other highly classified programs. The affidavit alleges he began posting classified documents starting in 2022 and then recently, on April 6th, used a government computer to search a database using the word leak once it was publicly revealed that someone was leaking classified documents.
This is not just about taking home documents. People who sign agreements to be able to receive classified documents acknowledge the importance of the national security of not disclosing those documents.
Teixeira was an IT specialist for the Air National Guard, whose job was to help maintain a network where top secret information was held. According to official U.S. sources, Teixeira is believed to be the leader of a small group of the social media platform Discord, a site popular with video gamers and where the classified documents had been posted.
sort of see the best of young U.S. soldiers on the ground to try to seek medical attention for kids. So I think that it's a much more complicated affair, and that's the whole reality of 21st century.
Grasp on the truth was held by the American public through your leaking.
If you are a fan of music and fun, downtown Jackson is the place to be tonight. It's all happening now at a new festival on Ferris Street. Our Rosalind Anderson is there right in the midst of it all. Rosalind, tell us what it's all about. A school bus driver in Rankin County swerving through traffic, and we're going to show you what that ride looks like from the kids' perspective. Rankin County school leaders are weighing in on this incident tonight. Chris Fields joins us now to show you the video. We know many of you are being affected by the ongoing trash pickup issue in Jackson, and now the trash talk has caught the eye of a state agency. 3 on your sides, Morgan Harris begins our team coverage tonight. Morgan, what can you tell us?
That's right, Courtney Ann. In an email obtained by 3 on your side, we can confirm that the state auditor's office is now looking into the city council's decision to hire its own attorney. Today, we received.
Well, you're now almost 3 weeks into having no one pick up your trash. And if you live in Jackson, that is, it leaves many of you with no other option than to drive into the Metro Center.
The Great City Mississippi Foundation hosts its first ever summit being called Believing in Jackson. The idea is to
LBT First Alert.
A Savannah favorite is taking their music on the road this weekend. The Savannah Philharmonic is playing 3 shows outside of the hostess city in as many days. The first one happens in just a few hours in Statesboro. That's where we find our bureau chief, Dal Kennedy. And Dal, where are they playing tonight?
Max, they will be here at the Performing Arts Center of the Georgia Southern Statesboro campus. And for organizers, it's a chance to cultivate their fan base by bringing the music to them. Take a look at a little bit of video from earlier. The Philharmonic arrived into town this afternoon for a quick rehearsal before this evening's show. Now, of course, we recognize the Philharmonic for the shows they perform at Forsyth Park every fall and their annual Christmas shows as well. But for this weekend is an opportunity to take the music outside Metro Savannah and reach communities and potentially new fans.
Savannah Philharmonic, it's really about being a community-focused arts organization, which means getting out into the community, which spans beyond Savannah, Chatham County, but
in addition, they will be performing with Georgia Southern music students as part of their show tonight. And Max, as we mentioned, 3 shows, 3 days. Tomorrow they will be performing in Richmond Hill and Sunday at Skidaway Island. Tonight's show.
Oh, what's this? The Sofia Vergara collection at America's Best? Wow, amazing styles and unbelievable prices? Now that's quite the duo. Get 2 pairs of Sofia Vergara frames plus a free exam for $89.95 for a limited time at America's Best.
today marks day 4 of
First Alert Weather.
Just checking, middle of April.
This is WLBT First Alert Weather.
Still a wet one across proper flavors. He really threw me off with that. I was expecting the protein. I expected maybe rice.
We're going to flip the script.
Quite the difference from what we saw.
Well, first off, Aaron, people are upset and frustrated as piles of garbage like this.
Rain or shine, the city of Jackson reopened the Metro Center Mall parking lot for trash drop-off. But after 13 days of no trash collector,
the Brookhaven police chief is issuing a warning tonight for juveniles who are causing problems in the city. In a Facebook post, Chief Kenneth
Well, we've been hearing from viewers who say they don't care who picks up the trash, whether it's Richards or somebody else, but at least 4 council members have been adamantly opposed to a deal with Richards. Regular garbage service in Jackson could resume immediately if only Mayor Lumumba could get 4 votes on the city council to approve a contract for Richards disposal. While the trash piles up, many viewers have been asking us why council members Banks, Foote, Hartley, and Stokes won't support a deal with Richards. We put that question to Ward 6 Councilman Aaron Banks. Why are you opposed to a contract for Richards disposal?
Look, first of all, this contract is over a year old.
Yazoo City boys basketball has already been to the top of the mountain for most high school programs. This week, though, Coach Carlisle's squad aims for an
Why are you opposed to a contract for Richards disposal?
Well, going back to when the Richards was first presented to us, I had some uncertainty, some misgiving.
One city goes through 5 grocery stores and 4 banks in 10 years. Bitch, please. One city. Bitch, please.
Their experience was as a subcontractor, not as a prime contractor. And this is for the prime contractor for the city of Jackson, 150,000 people. And they didn't score very well on the subjective analysis.
Tell me about why you have Richards Disposal's employees out here today.
At Forest Hill High School, Jackson Public School leaders say they recovered a gun found in a student's backpack. That gun discovered after the student entered the school through a metal detector. The weapon wasn't discharged. No one was hurt. JPS leaders say the student will face criminal charges and disciplinary action.
So your plan was to close all the grocery stores and move in profits from another state? That's the plan? Way to go.
When you find that perfect pair, nothing can stop your shine, because when you feel fly, you look fly.
Jamie, I'm pretty sure that was my line. Get 2 pairs of Prevail Revolt plus a free exam for $89.95. Book your exam online today.
Students who attend St. Joseph Catholic School were taken into custody after Madison police said they posted.
Sustainable options could save airlines billions of dollars in the future. Some Republicans say they're supportive of new technology, but they're also calling for more oversight.
While these can be exciting technologies, we should be wary of calls to provide taxpayer subsidies for them. When anything is subsidized by the government, the risk of wasting taxpayer dollars is profound.
Enabling airlines to save money in operating costs and maximize fuel efficiencies. These emission cuts are equal to removing 3 million cars from the road between 2020 and 2050.
If air travel continues growing at this rate, some environmental groups predict commercial aircraft emissions could triple by 2050. Reporting in Washington, D.C., I'm Kirsten Garris.
It's a scene many would say no one could survive. Still ahead here from the drive.
Yeah, it's only a dream. None of your faggots are going to sit down and read the law that overturns a number of sentences that were put on their name. None of these bitches are going to do that. They are going to wait for me to do it or die killing other people just because they desire to remain stupid, because it benefits them to call me crazy. So you pay me to stay around this shit.
Back up into the low 80s, getting to about 81, well above our average height of 7.
Okay, take a look at this video. It comes from security cameras at a Buckhead restaurant where 3 exotic birds were stolen this morning. That man was spray painting the cameras. But late this afternoon,
I think it's pretty clear I'd rather be raped to death.
we learned those birds were found. It happened at R. Thomas Deluxe Grill on Peachtree Road. Channel 2's Brian Mims was there for the homecoming. Brian, you found some friends.
Whoa.
The Channel 2 Action News exclusive. A former NBA player sentenced to prison for killing a mother may get out early. 22-year-old Julian Jones died in a drive-by shooting outside her home in 2011. Javaris Crittenden pleaded guilty.
Here, all new at 6, a Channel 2 Action News exclusive. A beloved DeKalb County school teacher is
In a few years, you might be able to take Atlanta's streetcar to Ponce City Market and other hot spots around Atlanta. The board of directors approved expanding the streetcar along the Beltline. But we learned some neighbors have reservations. It's been in the works since... We now know a state trooper could have died in the same crash that killed a tow truck driver. That's according to new testimony today. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live.
A Gwinnett County mother who found her son shot to death is hopeful that new clues will find a killer. She says a picture of a person of interest could help solve the case. Channel 2 Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson now. Hi, I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief. Today, a Douglas County teenager who survived the deadly shooting at a Sweet 16 party got to meet the officers who helped to save him. Jeremiah Johnson was shot in the chest.
A Chapel Hill high school senior has some big decisions to make after being accepted to 40 colleges. Regis Harris got accepted to some top.
So we begin this evening with Channel 2 Action News exclusive. Parents turned to Channel 2 after learning that a child was left inside of a daycare during a fire.
Meet Noodles. She's part short hair and part ninja.
Grow and develop.
If you are a fan of music and fun, downtown Jackson is the place to be.
Jerry was someone family says had zero enemies.
Never any trouble.
You think about.
You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
First this morning, the final round for the finalist, the lone candidate for DeKalb County Superintendent, facing more questions and why the NAACP will now rally over concerns about the process.
The Monday morning quarterbacking is well underway as Democratic Party officials in Georgia deal with the news that the party's 2024 national convention is going to Chicago and not Atlanta. Joining me now is Chuck Todd, moderator of NBC's Meet the Press. So, Chuck, we have seen some. It's the final day to vote early for the city of Mableton's first mayor.
And to vote in Clayton County for the next sheriff. Here's a look at the early voting numbers. According to the Cobb County government, more than 1,500 people had voted early through Wednesday. And the Clayton County Board of Elections says about 3.
Bitch, if you gave a fuck about the South, you would not be over there trying to keep our damn power in that fucking desert and dry out our damn river where all the trade occurs.
3,000 votes are in.
We have some big news for Cobb County school employees. Superintendent Chris Ragsdale is
I hope a legion of planes fly into your damn towers.
proposing a major raise as part of his budget proposal next year. That raise ranges between 7 and 12% for all
Continuing your 11 minutes of nonstop news in DeKalb. That's where the finalist for school superintendent is facing more questions today.
Our Jerry Carnes reports despite controversy.
Of course, we're in severe weather.
New study involving Emory University finds Atlanta.
If there's a Bank of America, it must be funding a bank of somebody.
Ranks number 1 for the most welcoming in the South, where the LGBT genders say they skipped school to avoid discrimination. 75% of transgender respondents said they avoided talking about personal topics with their coworkers. Those identifying as non-binary
on.
New video shows homeless people sleeping
Why is this bitch not popping up in
in
Kansas?
upscale
Why
Atlanta
is she all the way in
apartments
Atlanta?
hallways. Rent there starts at $1,700.
The
I mean, who
residents
you
have asked
bothering,
city
bitch?
leaders to close that
Don't
homeless
burn up
encampment
and beat
that
up
surrounds
kids.
luxury apartments in Buckhead. Fox has more.
Will
Stings.
somebody
Spoke to
advise
the
this
point
bitch
person
that
on
beating up
homeless
kids
issues
is not a
at
good
Atlanta
idea?
City Hall.
This week, we've shown you how this can become the homeless encampment worth more than a news. Well, sometimes when a baby comes into our
Anybody?
homes, our four-legged friends can
Anybody?
become a little jealous.
Yeah, you've got to look
Guess
at this.
not.
Developing now, we now know the name of a man shot and killed during an incident with Riverdale police.
I slapped a bitch in the face with my dick. Give her something to focus on.
New at 5, 3 birds are back where they belong.
Get mad about something.
Right now, Atlanta police are still searching for the person
There ain't no
who shot
fucking
and
way this
killed
child
a
that
woman
made
in
you that
Southwest
damn
Atlanta.
mad.
The murder happened early Monday morning at the City Park Apartments on Fairburn Road. We're also hearing from the victim's heart.
Hey man, you could save hundreds for safe driving with Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Woo! We gotta go again.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Anytime some terrifying moments for two young children when somebody.
Hey everyone, Chief Meteorologist David Chamley here.
Oh yeah, Dick's got purpose.
The NRA's annual
Use
convention
them right.
is being held this weekend following renewed calls for gun control in the country in the wake. We begin in South Florida, where a train slammed into a car hauler.
Oh my God!
Those cars were strewn like toys. A Brightline train hit a car hauler so hard it cut it in half. This happened yesterday in Hollywood and Broward County. The man who shot this video says he saw the big truck spinning out because it was stuck. Somehow, no one was hurt. And San Francisco police say Cash App
Somehow.
Florida men led police.
It couldn't have been a God having the idea to have one go in and one go out.
Peachtree City Police on a wild chase in which they performed 2 pit maneuvers and were forced to ram the suspect's car 2 times. Fox 5's Doug Evans has more on what police discovered about those men.
Police say they would later discover the 2 men in this Toyota Camry were allegedly part of a crime ring out of Florida that had been breaking into cars in communities all along Interstate 85 during the week of Georgia's spring break.
And they just travel up the interstate routes north until they finish their sprees and they head back down south. And frequently we do come across many of these offenders that have roots and attachments down to the Florida area.
A witness called 911 to report the men breaking into cars in the Lime Creek recreation area where families had been enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Police say when an officer tried to pull over the Toyota, the men sped away. In a busy area on State Road 54 near the Peachtree City Walmart, the Toyota went the wrong way on the highway. Police say the car was doing 85 miles an hour at the 5474 intersection, one of the busiest in South Metro Atlanta. Here's what happened next. The pit maneuver and ramming the car twice did not disable it. The chase continued on Highway 74 for a short distance, then on a side street, an officer waited for the right moment for a second pit maneuver. After a short foot chase, officers arrested Anthony Dixon and Anisha Christopher. Both men are out of Florida, both facing charges in LaGrange, Troup, and Coweta counties, as well as Peachtree City, where the men are facing almost 24 charges. Police say they found a lot of stolen property in the car.
Purses, wallets, driver's licenses, identification cards, debit cards, none of which belong to any of the occupants of the vehicle.
Police say the men are facing additional charges in other communities as the investigation continues. In Peachtree City, Doug Evans, Fox 5.
Gosh, that was compelling video, right? U.S. government still doesn't have. Parts of South Florida are preparing for another round of rain this afternoon.
After Advil. Back to work.
What about your neck?
It's good to go. Before Advil. Advil dual action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil dual action.
Question for you. When you hear the terms pastor, preacher, reverend, or minister, what image comes to mind? Be honest now. Is it a man or a woman? There was a time when the only time you saw a woman near the pulpit was when she was in the choir singing or playing the church organ. But attitudes changed and women started to serve and lead in some churches, even if they didn't get to hold the titles. Today, we see a lot more women leading congregations, but still they deal with some pushback from those who use scripture to diminish the role of women. So what's it really like to answer God's call and be a woman in the... We're talking about it today on Portia.
Stoppers, that's usually the best source. You can report anonymously as well. That's 1-866-845-TIPS. You, of course, can call the sheriff's office. They have a non-emergency line. I mean, heck, you could reach out to Chevy if you know something.
Roll it. I want it too.
For you if you need to, but definitely call Crime Stoppers.
Leah Shields with First Coast News and Jet.
New at 4, Georgia U.S. Senator Raphael Warnock wants to use the reauthorization bill for the Federal Aviation Administration.
A security consultant. I work for a number of different.
Yes, mother. The moaning women had access. Had access for an entire nation of people. The moaning women carried access. Access.